Josh Mikayla here. You guys familiar with Josh Mikayla?
Yes. Let me guess, the ones behind the pole there very much so.
Full fan club, we've got an Instagram live up there.
Yeah, $50 each for you guys. Yeah.
Welcome guys, we were just saying that we're all feeling a little bit dusty. Where did you go last night?
Yeah, it was Mikayla's birthday the other night.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, so it's always birthday week, you know,
Yeah.
not just one day for birthday. So we went out for dinner last night.
Yeah, got a little bit excited last night.
Yeah.
But that's
22 yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take that.
So our goal, we're going to pick these guys' brains and get some tips and tricks for those hands up and planning on doing a trip coming up soon this year, next month. That's right. So yeah, lots of hands. So these guys are doing it virtually full time, we can just about say, and blogging it, and are coming across experiences that they find do work, don't work, and so if we can impart any knowledge to you folk. If you've got any questions as we go along,
interrupt us if you have any
hands
questions.
up. Except for that crew up. No.
And all that. Alright guys, we'll hand it over to you. Tell us, how did it all begin? I believe you guys were both in totally different fields and you both decided, you know what, it's time, we're going to get in the caravan, we're going to go. Tell us where it began.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, yeah, travelling camp is like our brand sort of started like 5 years ago now, I think. So just sort of probably the same as most other people start, I guess. Like just on the couch watching your All for Adventures and for your main
Creek to
TV,
Coast,
Creek to Coast.
Yes. Okay. Don't say too loud, the baby will cry.
Yeah, I've got you some pay me for that too.
Yeah, 50 for you. Yeah.
And as you do, and just like we're watching like it was all like a Cape York day, and we're like, let's watch this. And like, oh, like
We'd love to go
to
there,
the tip, like love to go there. And it was like, I had a moment, it was like let's go. Like, why don't we just go? And Mikayla's going like, what? Like, what do you mean?
Okay,
like,
what? We can't
yeah,
we're from Victoria. It's forever out there. Like take us 10 minutes.
I was like, just going to work tomorrow. Like, see if you can get 3 months off in 12 months time, and if they say yes, like, we'll go.
Yeah, so I went in the next day and I said, oh, in 12 months time I want 3 months off. Like, please, please, please.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's got approved. Got a big chick.
And you have beautiful Georgia.
Yes, we
And
have.
she's your four-legged friend. We
our
love dogs
baby.
here. Has anybody travelled with their pets before? Yes.
Yeah.
These guys are professional pet travellers. So obviously, you want to go to national parks and you can't do that. So how do you navigate that with a dog?
Yeah, so we usually try to aim to stay outside, well, we have to stay outside of a national park, so we find a caravan park or a free camp. And Georgia's really well behaved, so we're very lucky. So yeah, she can chill in the van for like up to a day, half a day. Oh my god, no.
Never leave an animal in a van a day, no. That was a joke.
Windows down.
No, yeah.
The husband, different story, 2 days.
It's fine. Yeah, so like we're lucky enough to have enough battery power, so if it's hot we can put the aircon on, or we have like some little fans going.
Yeah, there's ways to make it work.
Yeah, and she just sleeps on the bed, she's an angel.
And tell us about when you kicked off your decision making when it came to what van you get. What are we going to travel in? Because as we all know, there is so much to choose from at the moment. You walk around here, it's like, how did you do it?
Yeah, well, we were lucky. Our parents, well, my parents owned a 2012 Lotus Caravan, like a semi-off-road thing that my brother had second-hand. So that's sort of what we had at the start. So we did our first 3-month trip. So we did the whole, we made it happen. Went up to Cape York and did all that, and we ended up flooding the car and riding that off. It was like a big,
the van was fine.
It was a very adventurous trip.
Did I hear flooded the car?
The car, yeah. The van.
Who wants to hear more about that? Yeah, it's all about experience, isn't it?
Yeah, well, your typical telegraph track, deep water crossings, and it just, had everything planned, walked it, had the winch ready, had everything good, and then someone went through before us and dug out a bit of a hole that didn't know about. Just, typical just gone in, spot start, winch cut out in the water, and 30 seconds, your life can change.
Were you in the car as well?
No, I was filming.
Of course you were.
No, I did. I ran in the water and I started to try to push the car.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to
Whilst
push
you were
a
filming?
3-ton car.
Whilst you were filming,
Yeah.
of course you were. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, her laptop and everything's under the seat.
Hey, iPhones are waterproof. They survived.
Yeah, wow.
So what happened next? Once you've done that to the car, how far up were you? How far north?
Well, the engine was fine, so we could still keep going, but there was lights flashing everywhere and all that.
Smoky smells and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we had to, the car was on the clothesline at the top of the tip, so we just pulled everything apart and dried it, and we're up to like 3 in the morning with the hair dryer trying to dry it. But we're lucky that we could still drive it.
Yeah, as I say, you made it home
back,
then.
but it did wreck it a bit because we were just like worried about the car. We didn't want to keep going remote and not trusting it, sort of thing. So, but it was an adventure. That's how we ended up buying our new car. We in Cairns, and it got written off, and
the old car got written off. to buy a new car to get home, and we always wanted a Y62.
Yeah, so our 15 grand trip turned into like 100.
So talk about experienced, yes, very much so. And the van was fine, so you started off in mum and dad's van?
Yeah.
And then how did we progress from there?
Yeah, then same thing, like that was like another 12 months. Like once we sort of did that 3-month trip, we were just like, yeah, like this is it, like we want more.
This is what we want to do.
Yeah, we want to go longer. Like,
and after that, like, borrowing it all the time, you know, I felt like we were using it more than his parents. So, you know, we'd get back into the van, I'd be like, oh, they've moved my plates, they've moved this. And no, it's their van, they're allowed to move whatever they want to move.
Well, yeah, we just started saving and all that, and just, you know, we're looking at all sorts of what we could afford and all that, and just, you know, sort of an opportunity sort of come about, and we'll have to sort of scrape the barrel, and we got our sort of dream van, which was a brand new Lotus. So then that sort of obviously sparked the relationship there with those guys and that, and then yeah, we're now sort of living full time in our dream van.
I was about to say, how many days a year are you in the van?
Oh, that's our life. Yeah.
365.
We're not sleeping in it now.
To the point that it's actually here.
It's outside the show.
We're not allowed to sleep at the show.
Yeah, that'd be
That's what you told us, but no.
But yeah.
With your socials, what made you decide that you were going to document and blog everything that you were doing on the road? Did it come about organically, or did you both sit down and think this is how we're going to make our money when we're on the road?
Yeah, no, it was never about money. Like it was just we got ideas off other people. Like you sort of see like, oh, this waterfall, and like and you get ideas from that. And then like I've always raced motorbikes and we're doing small trips and that, and we're just like, well, we're kind of going some places. Like let's just start sharing what we do, like the same as everyone else does, and that's just how it started. And then just
there wasn't a lot on Holden Colorados either, so we thought, like, because when we were going to buy ours, we were looking on YouTube, you know, how capable they are, There's never really anything on this. We thought, well, when we get one, when we do stuff, let's film it and we chuck it up there, because I'm sure other people are wondering.
Did you ever look at a caravan that you could tow behind your motorbike?
No, the motorbike goes on the caravan.
So it goes with you?
Yeah.
There you go. Of course it does.
Yeah, it's good. But yeah, it's just like how everyone else starts it, I guess. Just to get ideas. It's just like a big community now. Like, you know, the amount of people, like we've met lifelong friends from just, you know, like, oh, we watch you on Instagram.
Lifelong viewers, you're watching, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what it's all about. So, yeah. So it's just sort of grew from there. And obviously, as you grow your brand and all that, like opportunities can come along and all that. But yeah, our sole purpose was just to do it for fun and enjoyment. That's what we said. The day if it doesn't feel or turn like that, well, the day will probably just turn it all off. So
you had an incident on your motorbike. Was that when you were out and about?
Yeah.
In the caravan? How did you orchestrate a day that didn't quite go to plan?
Yeah, no, that was recently. We went back to our family in Mildura there, and yeah, I've raced motorbikes for 20 years, but I went and did a race for a bit of fun with some mates and that, and yeah, I ended up hitting a tree stump and snapped my knee in half, so I'm like 7 weeks out of surgery, so it didn't delay things too much, but yeah, getting out of the van with my legs, you know, it was difficult.
And Mikayla, did you then have to drive everything home or to the hospital?
Well, luckily we didn't have the van with us.
Yeah.
Because we were in our hometown, so we were parked up at our parents'. But I just drove the car home that afternoon and had to be nursed.
You had to be nursed, yes. And a big thing we've noticed over the last 5 days here is do you do majority of the towing?
I do.
Do you find it hands up to all the females? Who doesn't? There's normally one, and we found it's very important that the other. You for sure.
Daughter. Yeah,
it's very important if something goes wrong, because if you aren't experienced in reversing or towing and something goes wrong, you need to be able to do it. So it's been a really good tip for folk that if the hubby or the wife does majority of it, it's good to know as well yourself, just in case.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mikayla knows how to hitch up, unhitch, and she can do it. Like
I just choose not to.
Yeah, we've had one situation where I had a really bad heat stroke. We're out in the middle of nowhere, and yeah, I was done.
You were cooked.
Yeah, cooked literally. Yeah, so Mikayla she drove home, and that was fine. So yeah, in emergency, it is important that, because you know the concern to snake bite, like something can happen.
Something really bad.
You know, you don't think about, so you do need to have that recovery.
Something we haven't asked actually this whole week is, do you guys have a first aid kit in your caravan, and how important is that, and you know what to include and what not to include? Because obviously you don't want to be taking absolutely everything. Yeah. What's in your first aid kit when you guys are out off the grid?
Bundaberg rum?
No, we had to have everything in there.
Yeah, we had to have everything. It has like a snake bite kit and all the wound bits and pieces, but yeah, it's definitely something.
We're guilty. Like, we went quite a long time without one. Like, we'd sort of have it in the car, but like we'd go for like a 2K bushwalk and like
not take it
what
with
if something
us?
happens? Like it's in the car and it's like it's way too late. So that's something we've definitely
A little backpack one, maybe.
Yeah, that's what we've got now. We just have like a camel pack.
And we've got a full-on kitted out one.
Yeah.
Which leads into communications. If you're off the grid, out of range, travelling with something where you can have service 24/7 if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
That's my cameraman calling. If anyone wonders whose phone that is, that's mine. We have Creek to Coast coming. He's wondering why I'm not answering. It's because I'm on stage. But yeah, comms, and for everyone travelling, if you're off the grid, you need to be able to make communication if something goes amiss.
Yeah. So obviously, when we're travelling, like the UHF radios, which is only to a degree when you're sort of off the grid, if someone's around, that's obviously handy to have. But we always have handheld on us when we're doing like hard waterfall walks and that, like just in case we were to get separated or something sort of happened, or someone else could be around if something happened. But we've got the out there internet kit, which helps us to a degree to have internet like everywhere we are as well, which obviously keeps us communicating. We've got a personal locator vehicle as well.
We just put that on you when you say you get on your motorbike and you just go.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd be kilometres away. You might need some flares, mate, or or something to put you out there.
Yeah, and again, obviously, like when you're in the middle of nowhere, you can't just call a mate like, hey, let's go for a ride. Like
he does go out by himself
I am
quite
by
a lot.
myself.
So
Obviously, usually when we've got internet, like Mikayla will be tracking me, like where I'm going in that. So, but yeah, personal locator vehicle, I think is we've got the GB one. Like it's just pocket size. Like, and I think that's crucial because you just never know if something can happen.
Well, let's talk locations for a moment. Oh no, water bottles all over the floor. What are your top 2 locations? I mean, because you guys have been everywhere, all over Australia, but we're going to put you on the spot here. You can have 2 each.
All right, you go.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Wait, don't say the one. Wait, maybe I should.
Don't say mine. I'm saying one.
Yeah, it's just such a hard question, but probably.
You have one west and one east, and I'll have one east.
We loved Caravan in Western Australia. That was really good, despite the wind. If you can have a nice non-windy day, it's absolutely just bliss. That was one of our we just loved that there. And then down Esperance Way and that. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
You're taking Mikayla's name.
Esperance, that southwest down there is just the water and that down there, the forward driving, like it's it's hard to beat. It's really hard to beat, yeah.
The water's absolutely beautiful.
And Cape York.
She has none left.
Okay, so you covered the west. Give was amazing. Obviously, Give River Road was amazing. All the gorgeous, like we were swimming every day in freshwater holes. But over east, Cape York. That's obviously hard to beat if you've been there. It's amazing. And probably down south in Victoria, we love the Grampians.
Victoria's got lots of.
Victoria, yeah.
Is it you guys got it?
No. Who out there is the Cape on bucket list out there for a lot? Who's done it? Would like to do it? Yeah. So it is on a big bucket list. Are you getting? What sort of tips could you give for those that are getting to the Cape? Some little travelling tips you could share?
Yeah, well, I guess a big one is obviously people are scared of towing up there. I think like that's one big thing. Like, you leave your van in cans and stuff. I'm like,
taking it.
Yeah. I think that's a big one. Like it's so kind of people are so kind of scared to take it, which obviously it's going to be a co-play decision on what your setup is and that. But yeah, we took a semi-off-road like leaf spring Caravan to the top, no dramas, and it's just a corrugated road like anywhere else. But obviously just lower your tyre pressures, drive the conditions, have your UHF on sort of trucks up there going about, and just sort of take it easy. The biggest thing we see, especially with the Give, is people just in a rush. Like they're just going past you flat out, not hearing down, they're breaking stuff in their Caravan, and it's just, go do your towing course.
Yeah, are you guys more of, do you like to plan where you're going? Do you like to book ahead? Or are you, way more just, stay here a couple of days?
Some days, we get on the road and we're like, where are we going? Where's the destination for today?
Yeah, we don't really plan at all.
We hear that a lot. We've only probably spoken to maybe one group that have planned because they've got kids and, they're schooling and all the rest of it. But it's nice to know that you can just get on and just, if you're enjoying the spot, stay. If you're not, move on.
Yeah, again, if people are on a time schedule, I guess you got to maybe plan a bit more, or if you want to get into some big caravan parks, have all the
booked out.
Good stuff for the kids now,
Or if your van's quite large, you need to accommodate all that.
COVID's been the worst though. It's obviously everyone's booking so far in advance now. It's just we did the whole East Coast 3 years ago. Every caravan park was pick what spot you want.
$30 a night.
But now it's pick a number and wait.
Busy. A lot's changed. Yeah.
Any questions out there, team? We got them. We have a little question. Two.
What do you reckon, girls? What's your question? Not sure.
She's on the spot, doesn't want to talk. Anyone else, team? Yep. Up to Cape York, is there water crossings or is an alternative route as well?
Yeah, there is a couple of water crossings on the PDR on the way up there, but they're pretty like nice and rocky. Like, you know, it wouldn't be open if it was really dangerous. So yeah, like nothing half more than up your tyres. Like they're pretty safe water crossings. But yeah, there definitely is some. That's why your van gets so filthy, because you're sort of going through that and you're back into like bull dust and it just sticks everywhere.
So easily to do in a like non-off-road van, you know what I mean? Like quite very easy to do, as opposed to Nolan's on the telly track. You wouldn't be going there.
No.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyone else? Oh, we've got a couple. Who, me? Weight issues?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, maybe I'll put on a couple, but...
What's what you're saying?
Yeah, please, body's a temple. So weight issues in the van? Because of the motorbike. Good question. Yeah, good question.
Yeah, so with our new van, we've gone a bit bigger. We had a 17.6 foot before that, and yeah, with the bike and everything, like we were like on the dot, like it was perfect, fully loaded. It was really good. So yeah, with the bigger van this time, like legal, we can sort of have in our setup, like we can have one water tank full, and we're like on our weights. So we sort of like, yeah, when we go off grid or private property, it's like we'll fill up the water tanks and go off grid. But yeah, like we're right on there now with the motorbike. We don't have the motorbike in there now, so that solves some issues. But
yeah, that's really helped.
A bit extra room to play with.
Yeah, our ball weight's about 345, so it added about 60, 70 kilos to the ball. So yeah, people see a motorbike and sort of freak out, but like it's really like you haven't. Like we're going to buy.
The van was made knowing the motorbike was going to be on the front.
We're going to buy a toolbox, and the toolbox is 85 kilos alone. So you go chuck a Weber and a fuel, and like that's heavier than a motorbike. So yeah, obviously it depends on what van you've got and like, you know, the manufacturer, you know, the weight's going to be there and all that. But yeah, having the motorbike's a must for us.
Yeah, so. One thing also about weight, a lot of the vans these days have so much storage. There are cabinets everywhere, and some people think we've got to fill them all. I mean, it can be an easy trap to fall into, and before you know it, you're overweight. So it's another thing to take into mind. There's that much storage, and you don't need to fill every compartment.
Yeah, we're very minimalist.
Yeah, you'll take like some socks and jocks out, but like we can probably lose 5 or 10 to 20s, but you don't even think about that.
They don't weigh the van with us in it though.
Is there another question?
Yeah, there are a couple more. The lady up the back there?
What work did you do before you started?
Okay, what work did we do before we hit the road?
Yeah, I was running a childcare centre and Josh was running his own remedial massage business.
Yeah, so
anyone got sore backs out there?
Not anymore.
Was.
Yeah, you can't get a massage on the road.
I haven't gone yet.
Yeah, it's a good question.
We haven't done a lot of the high country, and we're from Victoria.
Yeah, definitely high country. Tasmania. We've done the East Coast, but like, it's been so quick. Like there's so much. We've kind of like been to Cape York, then back home. So like we've skipped so much. So East Coast is this year, next year is what our main plan is to just like you obviously got your coast, but then like you go like an hour inland, 2 hours inland. It's like a whole new world. So there's so much to see.
And what else online are you finding people are asking? Like you guys are now interacting with a lot of people that are watching you online. What are some common things that people want to know from you?
What's it like travelling with a dog?
That's the big one.
That's a big question.
The best thing ever.
Yeah, and also just people like waiting for the right time. Like, should I travel? What should I do? Like,
someone's asked us.
Like, hey, should I sell my house?
Sell my house.
I don't know.
You're asking us?
Yeah, but I think it's just like a big. People just like waiting for this right time to get out and start travelling, and yeah, like there really isn't. Like if it's you don't like, I guess so many people are travelling full time. You don't have to travel full time and salary thing, or like 12 months. Like just go do a month or 3 months. 3 months is a really good really good time. Like just pick a day, pick the money you got to save, and just make it happen.
And you can try before you buy with the caravans too. So a lot of people, do you want the pop, top,
the pimp pop.
Do you want the pop top, the caravan, the motorhome? Just try it, give it a go. There's a lot of places that offer that try before you buy, and it may not be right for you, and then perhaps you want to try and move on to the next thing, and that way it'll give you a little taste and see how you like the caravanning lifestyle. A lot of people just fall in love with it from there.
Yeah, and some people do the whole from nothing to selling and full time, then they don't like it. Like it's a
not for us.
See, everything goes wrong, and you got to expect things to go wrong, and like it's just. Yeah, it's going to test you. It's going to test you as a couple and all that.
Yeah, what your home life is like, it's the same in the caravan.
Yeah, so
but smaller environment. So yeah, you got
a little question at the front there. What's the best equipment for good radio reception?
As in like radio, like.
As in UHF and. Oh, as in listening to the radio, not yes.
Oh, I honestly don't know. We don't listen to much radio, to be honest. We just got what's on the van and. Yeah, I guess you can get satellite or something, but honestly, we don't listen to much radio. Like most things sort of on data and stuff, so that's why we've got our the internet system. So we've got YouTube and radio stations and that you can digitally get through that. So, but yeah, I'm honestly not too sure of what to have on your
There are plenty probably here you can ask around. There'll be plenty you can get here
You're
today.
in the right spot to answer that question. Any other questions at the back there, guys? I think I did see a hand.
Yes. So we're talking security-free camping. Do you lock everything away? Do you have a security system? What do you guys do when you find that works?
Yeah, obviously.
It's alright.
If you're going to go for a hike for a day, do you?
Obviously, it kind of depends where you are. Like, there's different places in Australia where you can't leave your thongs outside, but it's kind of we'bviously, we've learned the hard way. Like, we just had even stuff stolen like a week ago. So
true. From here.
Tweed Heads. Yeah, we got our mountain bike stolen and that. So that's the first incident we've had since we've been travelling. But yeah, like when we're up at some of the areas, like we don't leave anything outside. We lock the tunnel boots. When we first went to Cave York, like we sort of packed the car up, had the car parked like near the van, just everything's locked close to each other. But again, it kind of depends where you are. But I think we've learned you can never be too careful. So
yeah, we learned the hard way.
Yeah, I would just lock it up. That's why it's good if you're around people, like people can sort of watch your stuff or whatever. But yeah, I like to be able to leave the weather and stuff out and think that you can.
Sometimes we feel safer when we're free camping because
it just depends on your environment. You kind of know the feels of like, hey, like
for the most part,
most part you know dramas, but especially if you've got valuable things like bikes or whatever, like
if the motorbike gets put in the bed with you, Mikayla gets put in the
bed. Lock your stuff. You never be too careful. So
good question. Yep. Good question. Extra fuel, and the way it's costing at the moment, not much. But do you have to take that into account, I guess, where we're travelling and what you're doing?
Yeah, so of course, it depends where you're travelling. Like, East Coast is sort of just servos everywhere, but like on the West Coast, like you can go quite a long time without a service station. So we've got 140 litres in our car, but we're a petrol V8, so over time that only gets us.
Petrol V8, woo!
It's around a 400 K, so like so it doesn't get us too far. But like when we did the Gibb River and that, we had 50 litres of petrol with us. So that'll get us another couple hundred Ks and that. So if you can fit a long range tank in your car, like that would be good. But yeah, it just depends. If you're going off the grid, you can never have too much with you because you don't know what could happen. You can take a long road and do an extra 100 Ks that wasn't planned, and again, you run out of fuel.
And that's a big thing, knowing where your fuel stations are, because you're towing a van, you're chewing a lot more juice, and having a good guide to know, right, 200 Ks to the next petrol station, but my fuel gauge is saying I've got 80 left, not good.
There's a fuel map Australia. It's an app on your phone. We discovered that like a year ago, so that pretty much tells you where all the servos are, and like people just update it, so it pretty much gives it updated prices as well. So that saved us. Like we were on the Nullarbor, and like one was like $2.50, then like an extra 50 Ks was like $2.10 or something. So like
worth it.
Yeah, that could be worth it like that as well. Yeah.
And also, if we want to follow in your footsteps and your adventures, where can we find you? What socials?
So Travelling Campers on YouTube and Facebook, they're the same, and travelling.campers on Instagram.
There we go. Any other questions, team?
How are the airbags going in the Y62?
How many airbags?
We've got the airbag system in the Y62, so yeah, that's been amazing. It's changed the whole car and just the ride, especially towing, like it sits level no matter what weight we've got on there, and off-road as well. So yeah, they're waiting for the auto level option to be done for it, and once that's done, it's a good kit. There's going to be a bigger GB upgrade for it as well. So yeah, it's been a massive upgrade for the Y62. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. So yeah, really stoked about that. Yeah, definitely.
There we go, team. Any more questions out there? What about the team up there? Nothing for them.
Well, where to next, guys? Where are you off to
we
next?
got one. We got sneaky one, Liv. Sorry, darling.
I'll just shut my mouth.
Do you utilise free camps or do you pay for camping more?
Good question. Do we utilise free camping more, or do we utilise the parks where you pay for more?
Yeah, so we absolutely love free camps. We free camp as much as we can. But we've also just come across hip camps. So there's low cost on private property, so you're still essentially off grid using your own power and water and whatnot. But
You found some great ones on Hip Camp. We
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, it's only like on the West Coast the first time we did one, and they're, you know, 15, 20 bucks, and it's like someone's property, so you're kind of supporting them, and they sort of really accommodate you, so you sort of got your own area and someone else's needs far away. So yeah,
you're not all bunched in together like at a caravan
it
park.
depends where you are. Though. Obviously, you want to come to Brisbane, you can't just free camp down the main street.
Yeah,
so like
yeah.
you know, that's where your caravan parks come into it. So yeah, we just come stay at the show and you can camp,
Yeah,
camp for free.
No, too true. And Hip Camp's a great one. We use it on Creek to Coast as well.
And they're often farmers too, and you get to enjoy their fresh produce, and they're just incredible people.
Oh, and
Yeah,
even
it's
local
awesome.
knowledge. Like sometimes, yeah, they'll give you local knowledge, or they'll let you go around their property and just. We've met like friends and like they follow along. And they've got their hip camps and like just you meet some awesome people through it.
Are there some that dogs aren't approved? I guess I hadn't really thought of it, because we went to one recently and it was amazing. Bunya Red Farm, and they said you could bring your dogs so long as the dogs wouldn't chase the chickens. And I couldn't guarantee that.
Olivia's
with my
dog's
dog.
not going.
No.
Thought he was chasing the chicken.
But I was chasing the chickens.
But yeah, I guess would you have to disclose that information first before you arrive? Or?
Yeah, well,
on the app.
at least like with wiki camps. Yeah, and on hip camps it is too, like they say if they're dog friendly or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something we always obviously have to check.
Even for caravan parks as well, and like you know, even just day areas, it tells us dog friendly or not.
Yeah.
So it's a good sort of.
With caravan parks, we found if they're not dog friendly, they're actually like a quite nice caravan park. So we're like, oh, we have to miss out on that one.
I'm missing out on that one. Here we go, team. Hip Camp, yes. I think it's hipcamp.com.au.
Yeah, hip camping. Yeah,
Yeah, like
camps,
wiki
yeah.
camp.
I think it's like $9 or something.
Yeah, it's similar to wiki camp.
Yeah, same as weekend. Yeah, the best money you'll spend. Yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah. We'll go on here.
Top 4 apps that have helped you travel.
Top 4 apps.
Top 4 apps for travelling.
Yeah, wiki camps, hip camps.
The fuel one,
Fuel
yeah,
app
for sure.
Australia.
And just
Instagram.
Instagram travelling campers is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, those 3, they're for your campsites, the fuel, and just like your maps, I guess. Yeah, like most of our places are on like the Apple Maps, is how we get our directions and all that. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Was that question over
Was
here?
there another one there? We got one to go?
Or not? Well,
Or not, maybe not.
There's a
Little kids waiting
about
too.
4 years old.
All right, team. Well, I think it's time to give a round of applause. Travelling campers, Josh Mikayla. Oh, hello. An extra 50 for all of you there. If you've got any other questions, Josh Mikayla will come down the front. You can have a bit of a chat. And coming up shortly, or in about 5 to 10 minutes, tripinavan. We've got Josh and Beth coming over to chat to us as well. Once again, round of applause. Travelling campers,
Thank you.
Josh Mikayla. Thanks, guys. And we'll be back very shortly with Trip in a Van. But anyway, you don't want to sit here and listen to me. I want to hear about these two, the backstory. How are you guys? You good?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Very good. It's been a busy morning. Holy heck.
Over there from this morning, we did the Facebook Live in the van.
Yeah, we've already harassed you this morning with Facebook Live. For those of you who don't know where these guys are, where are you? Where are you based down there?
Oh, Sunseeker stand.
Sunseeker stand, yes.
You'll see my car there and our car. And
My car.
And the replica van of our new rig comes soon. It's up for auction. We're right there. I don't think you can really miss it.
No. It's set up.
So let's go back, like 6, 7 years you've been doing this. There's a lot of ones introduced doing it 2, 3 years. You've been doing it a long time. Let's hear the backstory, how it came about.
Well, you can start.
Right.
Little much.
I'll take it. Sometimes I can talk too often. So, yeah, it was mainly coming like a work change in life, right? So I'm a diesel fitter background, working in the coal mines. Coal industry sort of shut down for a bit. The place I was at shut, got a redundancy. Went to work for another company and didn't really enjoy it. And sort of, I wouldn't say, it's probably mental health, but sort of mood and attitude and parenting and everything. Bit of a rut. And at least I recognised it early.
Absolutely.
That I wasn't being a good parent, good father, good husband.
Well, you just weren't present.
No.
You were shift work. It was just hectic times. I was at home with 3 kids under 3.
Yeah.
It was just mental.
So we just sort of, I don't know, it's a bit of a blessing in disguise that the redundancy bought a caravan for us. And we just took all my tools. And we were going to do 12-month lap, and I thought, I'll end up in Port Hedland, Karratha in the mine somewhere. That was the main plan, no other goals
So there was no plan to do this full time. This was just get a van, we'll go, we'll document a little bit for friends and family, see where it ends up.
And your youngest was only 4 weeks at the time that you had this discussion.
We talked about this yesterday.
Yes, it was 4 weeks when Justin came to me and just said, I really want to go travelling Australia. I just had a baby. I was like, no way. And then when she was about 4 months old, I was like, all right, let's do it. And we literally left 10 weeks later. So she was 6 months.
Yeah. It was pretty lucky actually. I don't think you could do that these days.
No.
Like we rang around to try and find a bunk van. We had to ring every caravan dealer between the Central Coast and New South Wales and all the way up to Coffs Harbour.
There was no such, you just couldn't get a bunk van.
No.
And which is fair, whereas this day and age, there's bunk vans everywhere, isn't there?
Yeah.
But back 6 years ago, it was hard.
No, well we hardly met any families in that first year of travel. Like half a dozen
Such
families.
a contrast to now.
Yeah, now you can't go anywhere without meeting a family.
Everything's booked
Which is a good thing, it's
amazing.
It's a big shift in, from
Priorities.
a grey nomad sport.
So run us through the van process. You have 3 kids, you're going to get a van, or what do we get?
Well, yeah, we did talk about it, and I was 100% not doing the camper trailer thing. That was just, we did the camper trailer thing, it didn't last 5 minutes, we sold it. We went to the van, and I just remember saying to Justin, I don't want to be traipsing to the amenities with 3 kids, so that was, we were definitely getting an ensuite.
Yeah, pretty much that was the big thing. So we had to have a separate shower and toilet, the triple bunks, and and a washing machine.
Yeah.
And then,
no dryer, mate.
Yeah, so they were our 3 big things, and then literally we only had one choice in the end, so that's what it comes down to. But now you can choose so many at the time.
Endless.
But the very first van was just a purely on-road van. It was a full 23-footer.
How we've evolved, haven't we? An on-road van.
Yeah, and that's why, I don't know, you start where you start, and then you figure out what you need as you travels. You go places and go, oh, we can't get there.
Yeah.
Because we've got an on-road van, so what do we need to do and move up? Yeah.
And then the battery thing as well, we wanted to go to the free camps and, the remote campgrounds, but we didn't have the capabilities to do so.
Yep.
So yeah, that's when we went like a off-grid battery system.
Yeah, the lithium stuff.
Yeah.
Keeps you off as long as you want, and now you're waiting for your new Sunset?
Yeah.
It's not far off, is it?
No, I reckon we'll have it in the next fortnight. So.
It's on, so you said it was on a truck or something?
Yeah, apparently,
Container, truck, we're not sure it's coming.
It's somewhere.
Yeah. Just so you know, like this, we've been waiting for this van for a long time, and it's already 6-7 months behind. So you're not the only one.
You're not the only ones out there waiting 8 months, 10 months for a van.
It just happens. I feel sorry. The poor guys at the factory, they have like one bloke test positive to COVID, and they got 10 blokes off for a week. Like, can you imagine what that's like for the manufacturers trying to build vans?
I was going to ask you, how many days a year would you say that you're on the road normally when you're not waiting for a van?
Up until this year, it's been full time.
Literally 6.5 years up until we got to Queensland, and we knew that our van was sort of incoming, and it's nearly here, and then we'll be off again.
And you had a little pit stop in Broome, so a lot of families here have kids, and they want to know how it works with schooling on the road.
Yeah, sure. So, been schooling for 4 years, pat on the back. It's been hectic. So we have been doing distance education. The stuff is sent to us. We work with the kids for about an hour to an hour and a half, 5 days a week. And we send it all back to the teachers to mark. So it's really, works really well for us and our family. And
it has worked. So we saw when we did stop in Broome, pit stop, put the kids into a proper school.
Which was so amazing.
They loved it,
They loved
it was good for us to sort of baseline the kids, go, okay, we've been their teacher for 4 years.
Have they learnt anything from us?
Oh my god, they probably need like tutors
and they fit straight in. They had great reports. The teachers loved them. More so on this, like as they're sound students academically, which I'm stoked
We're happy with that.
But more so the glowing reports are like confident, happy, caring,
well-rounded,
resilient, and I mean that's what you want in your child, really.
And the ability to make friends easily, which is a great.
Which you do in the army well. That's what you do.
Yeah. So no, we they nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
And let's go back to when you started. You didn't do what you're doing now to have an audience like this. So you started to document. At what stage did you realise, wow, people are interested in what we're doing?
Yeah, probably. I'd say we started off about 2 months in, and we thought, let's start up this page. We obviously named it Tripinavan, and we just started. I remember the first post we did that post about costings.
Yeah.
And we put out fuel costings, and that was a realisation that people were really thirsty for information.
Yeah.
And they were like, how the hell are you travelling with a baby and 2 toddlers?
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think it was, that thirst for information. So we just started like putting it out there basically. And yeah, it gained momentum, and then we finished our first lap and got home, and we went, shit, we really like this.
Yep.
Let's go again.
And we missed so much. We're
Yeah,
like, okay,
we did.
we've done
We missed
this,
a lot.
and we've passed all these epic spots because we can't actually get there.
Yeah.
So let's rejig and go again.
And all the information that you've gathered, have you put it in one spot?
We have. We do have a website, and you can get all. Literally, I've been blogging there for years. Yes,
Yeah.
I've got an ebook that you can buy. So yeah, load up.
Yeah, but the ebook, we spoke earlier, and we've spoken every day, how important it is for people that are maybe doing their first or second trip. The ebook is valuable, very valuable.
Yeah, I've had really good feedback from it, and
It's also it's all the stuff we wish we would have known.
Oh,
you know, and
there
all the
was-
valuable
So you've
stuff.
learned along the way. This is all your knowledge for 6
there
years.
was zero information out there. I remember sitting, you would have been asleep or on night shift or something, and I'd just be flat out Googling. I was like, where is the information about travelling Australia? There was nothing out there.
I think there was like one big book, 300 pages.
That's it.
Yeah,
That was it.
The camp
Yeah, the
book,
camping,
yeah.
and that was it.
Yeah.
Right there.
It's just
So it's just evolved, and now you're busy. And people, the feedback is that you're just so natural. You're just doing it how it is. There's no
thank
edits.
you.
It's just how it's happening.
Oh,
No, we just, I don't know, we are normal people.
Yeah.
You know, and this is, it's, well, I don't know, we don't really hate the celebrity
No,
status thing. If
we
we
don't
could
do
do
it-
what we do without
yeah.
the notoriety, hands up, that's me.
yeah.
But
We
it's
like to-
also great that we get to meet everyone. So
It's
lovely.
amazing. Yeah, everyone's
I need
super
to get
really
crowds.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
of course we are, aren't we? Our V family, all lovely
yeah,
people.
everyone's really, really
And what are
kind.
other things thirsty for information? What are some things that you've learned that you think would help the folk here that are looking at travelling themselves?
Mainly big things are like setup, budget, and favourite places to go. Right?
Yeah, it's definitely destinations and setup for sure, and schooling.
And budget's a big thing. Like a lot of people over the
Huge.
last year wondering how much will it cost? How much do we save? Do you ever work on the road? Do you ever? Is that something?
No, we didn't. Well, I planned to with all my tools, and then we just sort of had. It didn't cost so much then.
No, it didn't. And then when we set off for that second year, we actually worked with a lot of travel magazines.
And
So we would,
tourism.
tourism. So we would sit up at night and just write articles after article and send them in, and that's how we essentially made our money that second year. So what was the question again?
Do you make money? Oh, sorry.
Just budgeting for the folk going travelling. Like it's and now with the way the fuel is, etc.
Yeah.
You got to budget. Like,
Yeah, well, it was 50 grand. We spent 50 grand in the first year.
And
But
that was-
now,
We did, 12 months, covered 40,000 Ks, and we spent $50,000.
yeah, just come in under 50,000, which we kind
But we
of,
did everything.
yeah,
you know?
we were comfortable.
We're thinking if this is the only time we do it, we won't not go to Monkey Mire because
Yeah.
it costs an extra $70. So
Like-
we won't.
We did do everything.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
Well, not. because we-
No,
we
then
never
we
get
went
it.
back.
now you're parent stage.
Now, you've travelled for 6 years. Is there anywhere that you haven't gone yet that you
The
really keen to go?
snow.
The snow. That's right. We're talking about the
Yes.
snow. One of
We're
the
going to
reasons
the
that
snow.
you
They're off to the snow.
extended the length of the caravan is because you wanted to fit all the kids around the
Yeah,
table.
we
and
do
stuff.
feel like we've really achieved a lot and seen a lot. We feel really stoked with what we've seen. But Australia is gigantic, and there's still so much more to see.
Yeah, and we've done hardly any inland touring because the
No.
kids, it's an outside sport, right? Caravanning, I
Yeah.
reckon, and you want to be happy and fun and do what everyone enjoys. So we've always steered with young kids probably away from the inland
Yeah,
stuff a bit.
and they're beach bums. They
beach
love the
bums.
beach, so that's where we naturally gravitate to.
But as they're growing up, they're enjoying more and more different stuff. Like we just come through and did Charlotte
Have they been to the
Plains,
snow
we've
yet? The
done
kids
things.
know.
Yeah, I know, they're really excited.
Little tip: when they make those snowballs that look really soft when they throw, they're actually very hard.
Anyway,
Yeah, they're very hard.
Well, that'll be a bit of a change of scenery for you then, because even your Instagram photos are all very beach bum, and I'm looking forward to these new snow ones.
Yeah, it's
Be very
different.
bright.
Yeah.
And also, we've been talking too about security. You're doing a lot of into the parks, and then you're doing a lot more off-grid now. People, I know you guys have got a security system, but how have you found it overall, security-wise? Pretty good.
Really safe. Honestly, I feel like you get a vibe when you drive into a campground or a campsite, and if the vibe's not right, we feel a bit iffy about it, we just bail. We don't wait it out. No, I don't want to pack up at 3 a.m. because I'm freaking out.
No, but it's honestly, it's only ever happened 3 or 4 times
Yeah.
that we've driven off from somewhere.
Yeah,
And that may be just like you see a bit of a sketchy character or You know what I mean?
don't
You just
like
don't feel.
it.
And that's
You
a
know
good,
you're not going to sleep.
your gut feel's a good thing. If you,
Oh,
you drive in somewhere,
absolutely.
team, and
Yep.
off grid, it's like, move to the next one.
100%.
And generally, that's only if we're the only ones there.
Yeah, but
There's other people around you. So
you feel safe. Yeah.
And generally, there is these days. We run into lots of people in those remote free camps.
I was going to say, how many friends, 6, 7 years on the road, how many lifelong friends have you made
Oh,
travelling?
man.
Like,
You meet a
wow.
lot of good
We've
people
got
on the
some
road.
crackers.
Yeah,
we just
you
had some
do.
come and stay at our
Yeah,
place
we-
last weekend. But yeah,
We
we met in
2019.
2019.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Do you end, that was synchronised. Do you end up convoying together and say, let's go,
Yeah,
we'll do
we
2
do
months here, we'll
sometimes.
meet you out there?
Now and then.
Yeah, sometimes. It's rare to find, like everyone's on a 12-month lap of Australia and they're all on sort of a bit of a time frame. You've got to keep with the seasons and things.
Well, they're going this way, you're going
yeah,
that
it's
way.
like, it's actually rare to really travel with someone for a couple of months.
Yeah.
But we have had that opportunity a few times. It's wicked.
Yeah.
Fun.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
How did you go with weight? We spoke earlier about weights in caravans with the other team, but and you got 3 kids. I mean, wow. It must be hard to keep the weight down and keep everything like 3 kids,
Like
clothes and bits and bobs.
Yeah, we've, like as we've said, we've evolved over the years. So it's sort of, we've built the last 2 caravans to actually hold the payload that we need. You know, so they've got a big ATM, we've got over 1,000 kilos of payload. But the kids still.
I was going to say, how does that go through? There's got to be moments when things aren't going well. 3 kids, mum and dad.
All the time.
What do we call
We're a
it?
normal family.
Is there a code or how?
What?
Me time.
Oh, yeah, we do
there a
code.
code?
It goes, I need some me time. I'm like, sweet, I need to go fishing.
I'm going to catch a fish, you guys sort it out.
It's important. That's why I always say this to people all the time. You need absolute communication between you both, and you know it helps when you're on the road to.
And it's fine to be frustrated with each other. I think.
Absolutely,
As long as you go, boy, I'm really not quite loving you at the moment. How about we spend some time apart? You know, it's a bit difficult in the caravan. But
Now a week's too long.
And same with the kids. Like sometimes you're like, oh, they're doing your head in, and you know, you just you get your time
Keep
out.
it real, have a bit of time away.
Absolutely, yeah. But you just got to keep that communication with your other half.
Yeah.
And in planning trips as well, like what we've also learned on the stage here, don't be planning 2 days here, 3 days here, 4 days here, because you throw that out the window.
Yeah, we've really winged it for many, many years, but I think it's getting to a stage where there's so many travels on the road, which is amazing. But if you really want to go somewhere, book it in.
For the hot spots, you know?
For the
like,
hot spots, yeah.
Really do your bucket list destinations, figure out
Don't want to miss it.
where you're going to be there and just book it and make sure you get it. Because if you drive past, it's a bloody long
And
way
we've
to
really
come back.
noticed that in the last 12 months. You really have to be a little bit more proactive in those hotspot destinations. And,
And do your kids have a favourite spot collectively, or do they all have their own? And where are they?
All
By
different.
the way, a lot of people have been asking.
They're on
us,
the
where-
sunny coast and the sand and the surf.
Yes, they're probably at the beach right now. Yes, they're with their grandparents in Coolum, spending quality time with them, and I just don't think it would have been fair to bring them here today, and they would have been bored, I think.
Yeah, so do they have a favourite spot between
Oh,
them?
yeah.
They beg you to go back to certain
I know,
areas, keep family spots?
Gillies is Tasmania.
Yeah, and Jack's probably
Jack's Cape York, or Island Bears.
Yeah,
Charlie's on
Bears
the
in
road.
the X now.
I think so.
sure.
But she
Yeah.
normally, we asked her a while ago, I think she said the Tasmania part. So the spirit of Tasmania.
Well, big boat. It's only got to and from, which can get quite rough.
You know why? They love the food. It was a big buffet.
So would I.
Rave about the food that was on that trip.
Yeah, and there was a movie on there too.
True. They watched
That'll get a memory too.
Yeah.
There was a mention of the Cape, with plenty of people. Bucket list Cape for folk looking at going,
Cape's the best.
and some tips maybe if people are going to do the Cape or what you
Don't go
think.
anywhere near it in the school
I knew
holidays.
you were going to say
That's
that.
it. It's really bad. There's too many people trying to get up and back too quick, and that PDR with a lot of dust is just a nightmare. So steer clear of it. I reckon I met a bloke years ago who worked for tourism in Cape York, and I said, "What's the best time to go?" And he said October. I said, "What?" I always thought June, July drives, and he's like, "Mate, trust me." So we went up in October, and man,
Amazing.
Loved
Yeah,
it.
it was really good. There
we
was
had
no one
places
really up there. Yeah.
like you've been to Allout Beach.
Yeah.
There was one other person there.
That's the camp right on the water there.
Yeah,
we were there
yeah.
last year,
At the
yeah.
tinny
So
end,
cool.
there was only
It was
heaps
really
of empty
hot,
sites at Hudson
but
Bay.
not awful hot. It was just great.
It was really good. So I reckon October is
So October, we'll see you all there in October.
We're going in October, don't we?
We'll all be there. Actually, he means November.
We had somebody asked yesterday, actually, but just after you left, what do you do with the kids on rainy days when it's just absolutely pouring down? You're all on the caravan.
You know what? Caravanning is an outdoors lifestyle. You follow the sun, you follow the season, so it's actually really rare that you get rain. Like we were just saying to someone today.
Yeah, someone asked the same thing. From the time we started the gig last year to the time we got to Southwest WA, we didn't see a cloud for 7 months.
Yeah, so you don't have
It's
to
hard to
really...
believe, but that's true. Yeah.
So if you follow that dry season, you're 90% guaranteed that.
Yeah.
That's a
So
very
you don't
good
need those rainy day activities.
But when we do have one, it's a bit of a novelty. It's exciting.
Get out and play in the rain.
Well, we get to cozy up on the couch and watch a movie, which is rare for us. You know, we're normally outside hiking and swimming and pretty on the go. So it stops you, settles you.
It's good.
And you like to keep in your fitness as well, and
I
you
do.
keep the hiking going, and you're running around a lot. But that's important to me too. I love to work out every day. If you can fit that in.
Let me tell you, if she doesn't work out,
You're in trouble.
there'll be a lot more me time. No,
It's a little bit crazy.
It's very weird. It affects our mood a lot. We've always been very fit people and trained and stuff. So when we don't do it, and you have 6 happy hours a week and drink lots of beer and cheese, you start to feel a bit down and your mood changes. So we're always proactive about this.
Although caravanning is a very active lifestyle, but it's still important to get your me time and exercise.
Especially with long car days too. Do you have like a max hour with the 3 young ones in the back, or do you, you don't exceed?
Don't do more than like 200 Ks, like ideally. But sometimes when you're obviously super remote, you have to punch out 500.
We just find it works really well if you do. It started very young with the kids. We leave say 10 AM when Charlie would go down for sleep.
Yeah, and the boys would have
you
a
drive for an hour or so,
snooze,
you'd pull up for lunch, you'd drive for another hour or so, and that's where you camp. So you'd be lucky to make it 250 Ks a day. But sometimes you might only get 30 Ks a day, or 250 Ks in 3 weeks, because you're stopping at so many good spots, you know?
Just depends.
But long car days suck for everybody.
Yeah.
So the slower you can travel, the more fun everyone's got to have.
And how do you keep the kids entertained in the car for that long?
Mainly movies. Movies, music, I Spy. I'm so sick.
I was about to say.
I Spy with one.
We try to have no devices for the first hour.
Okay.
And it's like, look out the window, let's chat, let's I Spy. And then we give them their iPads or they watch a movie.
Kid-friendly podcasts or anything like that?
No, we haven't gone down that route yet. We normally would try to listen to our own podcast.
Bit of true crime in the AirPod.
Don't forget, we've got children in the back, Justin. And another big one, I think we've touched it yesterday, but off-grid, family of 5, water. So and that's a big thing too.
It is, mate. Yeah, we've always had a lot of water.
What are we running?
We've got 4 tanks, 85 litres, I think that's 340.
Good maths.
Anyway, but you try and limit it. What did I say yesterday? You've got to learn where the 12-volt pump switch is for the shower. So
her big 20 minutes, that's off.
Yeah, so hang on, we're off-grid camping. It's time to off you go. Out you get. So no, we have a few things we do. We stack all our dishes up during the day. So you only do your dishes once at night. That saves a lot of water. You have a camp shower or a bird bath. You just sort of wet down, turn it off, soap up, rinse off. And I've also got my tank split. So I've got 4 tanks. They're split into 2. So shut the front ones off when you first get somewhere. When they're empty, you know you've got, say you were there 4 days and you've run out, then you technically should have another 4 days left.
Yeah. Technically. You get a little bit longer. It goes longer, back.
I wash my hair.
But is it like that after being off the grid? You go somewhere where you've got like, wash my hair.
Yeah.
Or a campfire. Whenever she sits around a campfire, the smell of smoke in her hair, she's just hanging for a shower.
How are we going out there?
What questions for
Any
you
questions
guys?
out there as we punch along? There must be a couple.
Oh, come on.
There's no silly question. There we go.
Over here.
In your early days, you travelled with dogs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, I know you ceased it.
Yep.
But could you share your experience?
We can.
So the question is travelling with dogs, and when they kicked off, they had a pup. Yeah.
So we had. I was sad actually.
Yeah, we did have 2 beautiful border collies.
Because we only planned to travel for 12 months. Mum and Dad have property, so we were going to leave them with them. We did that. Come back, picked them up, travelled for 7 months, and one of them was already
on 3 legs.
She had cancer early on, and the other one was good. But then we did a trip to Kangaroo Island, left them with some mates on a winery, and the good pup got hit by a car, and we had to put him down. I told you it was a sad story. And then we picked up the other one. And
Travel with her for a bit.
A little bit later, she, playing ball on the beach, popped her whole other hip out chasing a tennis ball in the water.
Yeah.
And we had to put her down. So
she would have been in a wheelie chair.
yeah, there was no quality of life left for her. So it's very sad.
That was back in what, 2017?
Yeah, but I mean, it's doable. It's definitely a challenge because you find these dog-friendly places. You have to find dog sitters when you want to go to national parks. But it's definitely doable. There's lots of people travelling with dogs. You just have to tailor your trip around it. Yeah.
And our friend Adele has a page, Caravanning with Pets. If you want to get on, I think she's loaded with information on there if you want to travel with a pet.
Because it's becoming more and more popular.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of the parks now accept pets. Like we've done a lot of trips with us that people take llamas, goldfish, cats. Llama is the craziest. Yeah. Wow. I'm not fibbing. Someone has taken a llama. Goldfish.
What's his name, Scotty?
Henry. No, I was with you, Biggsy. We did an interview and. Yeah, like people are taking all sorts of animals.
Wow,
it's crazy.
There you go. Well, yeah, Caravan in Queensland would like to do a Creek to Coast episode about areas that you can travel with your pets.
Yeah,
I might find a llama and take one.
Scott's got a little cavoodle that he wants to bring.
My little Gabby, gorgeous.
Who goes to bed with a hot water bottle.
She does. Don't spoil her. Seriously. It's my wife's doing, but seriously. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm out on the couch. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Any other questions, team? We can. Yes.
We've been super busy because we're trying to sort of make a little base camp block, so we're preoccupied. But it's definitely sort of tugging at us every day. We're like, like it's a lifestyle that gets in your blood, and you don't want to stop.
We don't really like the stationary lifestyle. Yeah, we literally love being on the road, and the lifestyle is just so simple. And when you get to a base and you do stop, you realise
how lucky you've been.
It puts it into perspective a little bit, and it's expensive to live stationary, like insurances and Wi-Fi, and just been like this, haven't we?
It's pretty bad, yeah. We're so out of touch with it all.
Oh, aren't we?
Just with the cost of everything. So yeah, we're hanging a new van soon, and we're back into it.
So after the snow, do you take advice from people online where to go next, or you plan it yourself, or do you put it out there sometimes? Where do you think we should go? Or
not really.
No, we
don't want to let anyone down. If they go, we want you to go here, we're like, well, it's not really possible. No, we just try and tick off our own list, and if we just find where we want to go. And
after the snow, any plans yet or not yet?
Back up the coast, and then Chris, his sister brand is Vision, so we'll hopefully be doing Stratty, Fraser, Morton, with a smaller version of a caravan and some different stuff.
Bit of tailor fishing off the beach.
Yeah,
a bit of that.
You are a bit of a fisherman, aren't you?
I'm a hack. Yeah.
Don't worry, so am I.
It's not catching the fish that's my problem; it's finding them. So
that's why you go with the good guys. Go with the professionals.
Actually, that's a good tip. One of the things I've found on my travels is just get there and pay someone for a charter, even if you've got your own tinny, because then the next 3 weeks while you're there, you know where the fish are.
Well, the next 3 weeks you'll be in his spot. That's a big tip. If you spend all this time taking a boat, all the rods to catch a fish, you don't know where you're fishing.
No.
If you can afford it, even a half-day charter, find out the lay of the land, what he uses, how he uses it,
the tides,
all that, and then you're set to go. He turns up the next day and, oh hi, I'm here.
No, don't steal their spots.
No, but just his ideas.
Just the info. Yeah.
Any other questions out there? Yeah, we got a few now. Yeah.
With your nursing, you pass your grades and
No, I don't. Yes, I did finish my nursing degree. I haven't worked as a nurse on the road. There is tons of work on the road if you are a nurse. For me, I think tripping a van takes up too much of my time. Am I going to keep my nursing going? Yes, I plan on doing that. Yeah, I'm a bit slack. It's just what we do is just really busy, and I genuinely have a passion for it, and I do love nursing, and I will keep my foot in the door, but it's not my priority.
Yes, young fella. How long have you been making your channel?
I've forgotten.
Yeah,
well,
January 2019.
What was it? Yeah, so we travelled for at least 2 or 3 years before we did any sort of channel stuff. Yeah, and it just evolved into, I don't know, from a bit of a hobby into creating a video.
Into a monster.
Cool, and then
a good monster.
Some good feedback. So yeah, but it's a time-consuming job that takes a lot of effort. it does.
Actually, that's another good question. Filming, editing, you share that, or do you do all of that?
Oh, it's a bit of both, but I do all the editing. But,
Justin does it all, don't I?
I was trying to
He does it all.
No, but we both have our jobs, so to speak. So I run all the social media. Justin just does all the YouTube.
Yeah.
He like essentially presents, edits, films.
But it's I've always I think my parents told me once, like, you find a job you love, you never work a day in your life.
Because that's we often ask that our VANbassadors how much of that is part of your day, but you guys are very much, it organically comes.
Yeah, it really does.
It's not something that you go, oh, I've got to put this up by Saturday.
No,
it just sort of happens.
it's literally me sitting in bed after the kids go to bed at night. I'll put a set of earphones in, we'll have some Netflix series in the background, and I'll edit for a few hours.
And I picture you sitting there smiling, reliving all those memories. Like all day, just wow, that was so good.
No joke, that's what we do. Sometimes we're just trying, we're like, how the hell did this happen? How do we create that? Like we're sitting in a bed, like in our van, probably on the beach, editing. Like, it's mind blowing.
That's fantastic. Yes. Good question. Internet, Wi-Fi.
We've tried a few things over the years, but the last few years we've just come back to using our phones. Just mobile Wi-Fi. We've got 180 gig plan or something each.
So we've got 180 each.
And that's enough to do uploads.
And we're just hotspots. So like if we want to get on our computers and have internet, we just use the hotspot function. And same with the kids to their iPads. And that's always. And how much is it a month?
Oh,
201.
But they generally, there's enough good Telstra coverage these days around the country. Telstra's the big tip. Don't go anywhere Telstra. Like there's some good things out there, but nationwide coverage, Telstra's the best. And we just work away. If we have to do some online stuff, we'll work our travels or destinations time-wise around being back in service. It's really nice for us not to have service for a while.
We really enjoy it.
We can forget about things. It's like a few days off work, you know. But even though it's just different.
Do you travel with, when you're off the grid and out of service, do you travel with like a sat phone or safety?
Yeah, we didn't have one for a lot of years.
We did. It was so stupid.
And then we did a Cape trip once, and a few weeks later we were in Byron Bay and I got appendix burst actually, and ended up in emergency surgery, and we sort of went, holy hell, if that would have happened a few weeks earlier, we could have been in some real strife, right? So we did some research and found them. They're about $700 and you get a basic plan for $15, and that's
you definitely wouldn't live home with
I would. I think we were silly not to.
Yeah, it's peace of mind. Like, you'd never forgive yourself if something happened, and we've seen that happen to other people. So you think, oh my God, if you had a sat phone.
I know. And you think you're spending how much on a van and a car these days? What's $700 for something that could save
peace
your
of
life,
mind,
right?
Spot on.
A good question.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Biggest trip with a bub full time, good one.
You know what? I think you just honestly have to roll with it. Time you travel with sleeps as well. We were really big on that. And I didn't actually take a pram when we first set off, and Charlie just lived in a carrier all the time. She'd come on our hikes and she'd be out cold hiking, and she slept on the beach all the time. She was like born for van life, I swear.
I reckon there's a big adjustment period when you first get into a van. You're all gone from house life, all living on top of each other. Give it a good 6 to 8 weeks. You've got to get into it. Take your time. Don't try and do too much. Because as soon as you try and fit too much in your day, everyone gets stressed out. Kids aren't happy. Just slow down and chill with it.
How old's your little one? 10 months.
10 months. You're ready to go tomorrow. Yes. Okay. Well, you can get one this afternoon. You can take it Monday. Here we go, team. Any more questions?
One more.
The cruiser.
Oh, sorry. How much? I keep cutting you off, mate. Sorry. How much does the cruiser use fuel-wise? 27 litres per 100. I've averaged that out over the whole 50,000 k's that it's done. I don't know what the difference is between towing and that. To be honest, I think it probably uses more when I'm not towing, because it's a beast to drive and I get stuck into it. But yeah, 27. So but that's pretty good. The Mazda used to do between 22 and 24 because it was working a bit harder. So So was the Mazda better than the Cruiser?
No.
The Mazda was a great car.
It is,
You're limited by the payload, right? So as soon as we started towing a bigger van, The Cruiser is much better suited to it.
Super comfy.
It does it really easily. So yeah, definitely.
It's not made for it, really.
There we go, team. Yes. Security system for the van. Good question.
It's called Wi-Fi, and it's a wireless trailer interface. I think that stands for. And it literally just like it's a vibration and an alarm, and it's hooked into your brakes. So if anyone tries to take off with your van, you've got it set. Your brakes come on, the alarm goes on. If anyone tries to break into your van or get in the window, the vibration sets it off. So it's good so peace of mind. So when you leave it at a free camp or something, there's generally others around. But if someone tries to do the dodgy, it'll make enough noise that other people look, right? So it's a great deterrent. Yeah.
Is all this information in your ebook as well?
Yes.
Yeah, sure is. Yep.
Everything that these guys have learnt over the past 6 years and they wish that they had when they first started is on their ebook. And what website can we go to now?
tripinavan.com.au.
And I saw a bit of merch too over on the table.
Yeah.
Come and get a stubby cooler or
come and help out. Love your support, guys. Yeah, there's a few stubby coolers there. They're pretty cool. They're not your standard one. There's some cool Kimberley shots and that.
Yeah.
So, try things a bit different.
Saw it this morning. Fantastic.
And people can come down and have a drink with you, I believe.
Yes, we'll be at the bar after the auction.
And we're celebrating how amazing the auction is.
After we've interviewed them for Creek to Coast, of course.
Yes.
There's our camo there. Well, one last question, team, before we let them go.
One last one over here.
When's the 300 coming?
Good question.
So we got lucky, right? So we have our 300 series. The fellow who built our 200 Pro Touring Concepts, he had a customer pull out of a 300 build, so he rang me and said, "Would you guys like it?" It's a quick decision. I said yes straight away, but we had to confirm. So we have the car currently, but there's waits on suspension approvals through ARB and bar work and that sort of thing. So we're probably realistically looking at about October. Yeah.
It's like Prado.
Yeah, it won't look like a Prado when we're done with it.
Not at all.
Right.
All right, team. I think they deserve the biggest round of applause ever.
Thank you. Much appreciated, guys. We're really grateful that you guys give us so much support.
So as they said over there after the auction, they'll be over there. We're going to take the great cameraman there, and we're doing some Creek to Coast stuff. Auctions at 4, and if anyone is planning on being a part of it, you've got to register by 3. But once again, round of applause, tripinavan, Josh and Beck, fantastic team. Yeah, welcome. And we'll see you guys over at the vision stand in the next half hour.